That's it.
There we go.
Success.
How
Wow. Really
are you
popped.
doing?
I'm okay. I'm in Pittsburgh. It's cold. Beautiful, beautiful mug you got.
Oh
You
my
drinking
God.
my
Oh,
coffee
thank
too.
you. A student gave it to me. Really like it.
A nice gift.
Yeah.
A good mug is
You can't go wrong.
so good.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm good. I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm doing my play here. It has been
Oh, cool.
it's been really beautiful. We have an entirely sold out run. We have like 30 performances, and everyone is sold out, which is really beautiful.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
And the community's been really generous.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I don't do a lot of theater anymore these days, but when I do, I get sort of reinvigorated with why it's such a beautiful
Totally.
art form practice.
Yeah.
Why I love it, why I'm worried about it. Yeah.
I know. I really want to get back into, I want to just get into it, period. I feel like I need to release something in that way, like
You said
emotionally.
get back into. Were you a performer or an actress in that way, or?
Well, are we recording already? No.
Yeah. Go to
Okay.
town.
All right. No, I started out doing slam poetry. So that was like very performance theatrical. And then I kind of stopped. I got like a little more shy, but recently I've been like, I want to perform again, but in a different, like not my own work. I want to like be another person. Yeah.
What happened? I love I love that we're allowed to say I want to be another person,
Right.
because I think a lot of us do. We just, if it's not our job, we're afraid to say it.
Right.
And this show I'm working on right now is about the pretending we all do on a daily basis.
Hmm.
Like we're always kind of just doing our performance art until we figure out who we are.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Conclave?
No, I really need
Oh,
to.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Wow. Stunning. Like
Yeah.
aesthetically stunning.
Yeah.
It's just stunning. And there's this one line that gives nothing away. And he says, I'm 57 years old and I still don't know who I am.
Wow.
You
That's
know?
kind of comforting.
Yeah. Like I kind of found some comfort in it. He was upset about it.
Yeah.
Like when he said it. He
Right.
was like, I want to know who I am, but he didn't. And it's comforting. It's annoying. It's like, you're like, I got how many more years of this?
Right.
What
Totally.
made you shy? Because you're still an artist. So you were doing slam poetry, and then
Yeah.
what grew in you, or what changed in you?
I don't know. I got my MFA in poetry, and then I think that was just it's more heady. You're kind of just writing more, and less performing. And I wanted to, retreat into myself and figure out what I wanted to put out. Um, but I still like one of my favorite things to do is read my work out loud, and I think it's a big strength when I do readings. And it's like a great way to connect with other people and get them to like not fall asleep at a book talk.
How long have you been writing poetry? When did poetry enter your life? Also, can you
uh
introduce yourself to folks?
oh yeah, totally. Also, I'm not using a microphone. Is that okay?
It
Like,
sounds great.
okay, cool. I'm Melissa Lozada-Oliva. I am a writer, sometimes performer. I teach. I have a book called Dreaming of You out, and it's a novel in verse about bringing Selena Quintanilla back to life through a seance. And then another novel called Candelaria, which is about a grandmother at the end of the world. And I have a book of short stories coming out this year called Beyond Reasonable Doubt, Jesus is Alive.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's cool. Short stories are one of my favorite mediums. I've
They're
never
the
written
best.
one, but I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with reading them.
Yeah. What do you like about them?
You can't. It's a whole world. It's a whole world in a
Yeah.
short amount of time, and I think a good short story that can give you a world, a universe,
Yeah.
information is so beautiful.
Yeah. I know it's just a glimpse. And they're never finished. Like there's so much that you don't get to know.
Do you know the Hemingway 6-word short story that they have
Yes.
often, like baby shoes never worn for
Maybe
sale?
she's, yeah.
And you're like 6 words, you get a whole world.
A whole world. You're like, oh my God, is the baby dead? Or did like someone grow up? You know? Yeah.
Never worn. So
Never
I
worn.
always assumed the baby was
Oh yeah.
never really
Yeah.
arrived.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Tell me, yeah, when did poetry enter your life?
yeah. I mean, I think I was really resistant to it for a while because I was like in high school, I was like, I don't get this. And then in college, I stumbled upon slam poetry because my friend was doing it at like Berkeley. I went to school in Boston and he started doing it at Berkeley College of Music. And I was like, oh, this is fun. And then sneakily, the athletic director at my college was like, I want to start like an underground slam poetry scene. And I thought it was like a really fun way to like unite my desire to perform and to write. And that was 15 years ago. So yeah.
Were you an athlete? The athletic director.
No, no, the athletic director also did slam poetry like on the side, which was kind of funny.
I love that.
Yeah, but she ran it like she ran our team like we were a team, like a sports
Like you were
team.
athletes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're writing poetry and you've evolved now into these other sort of novels and long form and what does the written word mean to you? And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've really it'll always just I hope it'll always be around the written word. And I think there's something eternal about it. Um, like it stays after you're gone. And a performance is really magical because it's like just like in the moment and you can't you can record it, but it's not like seeing it there for the first time. And then the written word is like you can sit with it for a second and you can finish it, but you're still thinking about it. Um, and just like a lot of time goes into writing, and I think it was always like a solace and like self-soothing for me as a kid. I just like compulsively kept journals and yeah.
Is it when it becomes your job, is it still self-soothing? Is it
Right.
is it our therapy? Are we lucky enough, to be a job and a medicine? Like, does it still serve
Right.
that purpose for you?
I am always trying to do something for myself, even because when it is a job, it starts becoming, a burden. It can't you can't not like feel stressed about it, but you have to remember that it is fun. And I think I've recently started doing like morning pages,
Oh,
which is fun. And I was like, I never really actively did that, but it's nice to be like, okay, I'm just gonna write whatever, and this is just for me. I'm not gonna sell this or anything. Um, and just to like keep that meditative practice.
is there a theme in your writing that you would say, like, I do believe all artists, I believe all people have an overarching desire
Hmm.
that they are attempting to understand and taste and evolve through in this lifetime. And then I believe all artists take that overarching desire and they usually manifest it, create it, make love to it in their art. And so
Hmm.
what would you say is your like big question, your big overarching desire you're trying to understand?
Yeah. I mean, I think in all of my work, you kind of see me, and I guess it depends on like what stage I am in life. And maybe when I'm at the conclave 57 age, I'll be going through something different. But I think a lot of it is, what does it mean? What does like redemption mean? How do we forgive people who've done horrible things? Are we forever bad people if we've done a horrible thing? And like, what do we owe each other? Yeah.
Your collection of short stories is written already.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you got to watch Conclave because
I
it's
know.
like it's
It's
very
that.
on theme with the title and some
Oh
of
shit.
your your thoughts. You know, because they're looking for the new pope.
Mhm.
Uh, and I love a line he says. I'm not trying to convert anyone, but there's a line in the movie he says, "Let us never forget that Jesus doubted until the last moment." You know,
Whoa.
he says, "Father, Father, why have you forsaken me?"
Oh shit.
Like hope and faith is not about confidence. It's
Mhm.
actually it's hand in hand with doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love, and yeah, doubt is kind of like storytelling too, because you're just like thinking of like, well, what is an alternate, um,
Oh yeah,
you know?
we can't we can't create or imagine the world we're going to enter
Mhm.
without doubts about this one. You know, our
Right.
hope, or you don't get the hopes unless you have the doubts. You don't
Right.
get the resilience, the ability to keep opening your heart unless you're a little shook in this moment. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to walk forward anyway.
Right.
This moment is a rife moment
Yeah.
in the world. I believe this both politically. I believe it with the climate. I think a lot of things are in flux, out of flux. Do you? Does this affect you as an artist, as a brown woman? What is your relationship to that? Yeah.
Yeah. I know I feel really out of sorts. And then I think as this as like a weird defense mechanism, I kind of like black out and I just don't, I just am like, okay, what's happening? Like I don't, you know. And then what I realize is what I've been turning to is writing things that are like moving towards like an uncertain feeling. And in the last like 7 years, I've written more towards like the horror spectral fiction space, because I think, you know, it's like psychologically that's what how I'm like making sense of the world. um and so yeah, I think, you know, sometimes in like culturally this looks like magical realism or something like that, which I think historically has been used to like understand things that are just like true for certain Latin American people, and came from a tradition of like Black and Indigenous storytellers, or not necessarily storytellers, just like grandmas, people who were just like saying these things as fact. And then um and like if you like look like objectively, it is kind of this way of like understanding trauma. When there is this like big traumatic event, you're not going to say like, oh, someone um was raped and murdered. You're going to say she floated into the air and was never seen again, you know.
Hmm.
Like in 100 Years of Solitude. So anyway, I've kind of been messing with that a little bit because I feel like it just makes sense, and then like pushing against like what's expected of like a Latin American writer with magical realism, when really I'm kind of like I want to go into like a more undefinable space, a more unsettling space, because I feel like I'm forever I'm like in limbo in an unsettling space. I can't really make sense of what's going on. So I want to like honor that. Does that make, I just like ramble.
I love it.
Okay.
Horror is very popular.
Yeah.
Why?
Um,
Why do we want to
I,
be shook?
right. I think we want to feel something. I think Mariana Enriquez is this Argentine writer. She says that, and she wrote under, she's like, was came of age during like living under a dictatorship, and so that really influences her work. She says like she writes horror so people remember the horrors that they've gotten used to. So I I think that is the reason I write horror. I think it's a reason people are drawn towards it, where they're like, I want to feel less numb to the world. I want to remember that I'm alive, you know, that I have something to be scared for.
I gotta have something to be scared for.
Yeah.
I was talking to an artist recently, a director, and we were chatting about apocalypse and our also our love of apocalypse. We've always had an apocalypse story, and
Hmm.
and what's on the opposite side of the apocalypse. It's always like what's leading up or what's on the opposite side of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And she was interested. This director was interested in what if we had an apocalyptic story where on the opposite side it was all disabled bodies who survived.
Hmm.
You know, that like apocalypse gives us an opportunity to show the many things we have survived and will survive,
Hmm.
because we've always faced crisis
Right.
and we've somehow always come through.
Hmm.
We don't need to put better or worse on it. Like we do come through
Right.
crises.
Yeah.
And I believe many humans in the world are feeling like it's sort of ramping up
It's coming. Yeah.
the crisisy.
Right.
and and I wonder if it's about that as well, like horror, uh, even some action movie where, like, I don't know, Tom Cruise has to save us from like the guy who's trying to destroy the world, you know,
Hmm.
uh, uh, or apocalypse stuff. Is it really just about what happens on the other side? Like, can we make it to the other side,
Mm.
and who makes it to the other side?
Right. I know, like, is it? Because it's like, well, then what happens then? Like, you have to rebuild a society, you have to sort the food. um, I think, yeah, I, everyone has been reading like Octavia Butler and mentioning her because of her book Parable of the Sower, which seemed to predict
The
the
fires.
the fires and Trump somehow.
Oh, I
And
didn't know that. It's got like Trump stuff in there.
yeah, there's a president whose slogan is "Make America Great Again."
Stop. I
Yeah.
did not know this.
Yeah, she just was
Wow.
looking at the patterns, and but the book is about how like God is change, and so the only thing you can rely on is change. And also they're like rebuilding a society and trying to figure out how to make it work. So I think like a good exercise for everyone is to think like, well, what does a new world look like, instead of how am I gonna, um, you know, what can I keep of this crumbling one, or how am I not just gonna survive this one, as you were saying, but like live better in the next one.
God is changed. That's what you said
Yeah.
in that book.
Hmm.
God is changed.
You should read
Yeah.
it.
What's it called?
Parable of the Sower. Sour. Yeah.
Parable of the sower or the sour.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, great. Yeah, I'm familiar with Octavia Butler, but it's not my go-to to run to sort of that genre. But I
For
know
sure.
because that's where I live, and
Yeah.
Altadena,
Yeah.
that's where she was born and raised, and it's so wild
Mhm.
in that
I
bookstore,
know.
and yeah,
Yeah.
such a such a trip when
I
prophetic things
know.
happen, which I
I
believe
know.
artists are. I believe all humans have an ability to be prophetic if they get out of their own way.
Yeah, totally. I think
Like,
so.
if you receive the obvious information that's here, and like you said, the patterns, like she was studying the
Yeah.
patterns,
Hmm.
and that's something I believe in too, is a circular nature.
Hmm.
Like, you always have your golden ages, and then you always have your dark ages. You know, you always have your age of invention.
Yeah.
You always have these sort of artistic ages. These
Hmm.
have these have happened since the dawn of time, since agriculture, really.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and and so you wonder what circular age
We're heading.
we're
Yeah.
entering, we're in.
Right.
What is your writing process? Like, are you a 9 to 5? Or are you like, I wake up, I make my coffee, and I sit at the table? Are you a get inspired type person? Are you
Yeah.
don't talk to me? What's your process?
I'm realizing I'm kind of a don't talk to me, because I get really irritated where I'm like, I'm in the middle of something, you know. Um, but I also realize that I'm not a 9 to 5 writer. Um, And I think that was honestly, I feel like the 9 to 5 thing was invented by like Stephen King, who love him, but was trying to deal with his alcoholism. So he was like, what else can I do? I'm gonna write for 8 hours straight. And also it's like, I feel like it's something that like a man is like, this is how you're supposed to write. You're supposed to make it into this job. And what is amazing about being an artist is you don't have to participate in that workforce, or you can like choose this alternate lifestyle. So I think okay, I feel bad I said that about Stephen King.
It's okay.
But yeah.
He will forgive you.
Yeah. I just think it's not a healthy way to think about writing, because at most you're only going to get 4 pages out of like a good day. You get 4 pages, like 1,200 words, if you're writing fiction. So I think like, okay, this is what I do. I wake up, I go for a walk. I read, I write in my journal, and then I'm like, okay, it's like a way of like emptying my head. And I have to eat a full meal because otherwise I'll feel like dizzy and I can't do anything. After that, I make a coffee and then I'll write for like 2 hours. And honestly, a lot of writing is like spacing out and, feeling like shit. You know this. And I also really value, I want this year to be my year of like boredom, where I'm not trying to find like stimulus from anything. And like I am going to, but it is like when I was a kid, I didn't have all this bullshit. Like I was so bored and I had nothing to do. My mom was very strict, so I just wrote. And so much comes out of spacing out, so much comes out of having nothing to do. So I want to say that boredom is a really important part of my writing practice.
This is a mission I will get on board with.
Mhm.
I will join you on this.
Yes.
On this call to boredom.
Yeah.
And this request to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone listening knows I have this real love-hate battle with the phone and
Yeah.
and just the ability to escape at any means, the ability to look anything up, just all of that. And I host a podcast, and sometimes I'm upset at the way sort of podcasts sort of fill the moment. Like you put them on in the background while you make your
cleaning. Yeah.
And music too, like all of these things. And I'm not anti anything, but I am pro concentration, like pro mindfulness, pro this moment. And I believe boredom has this profound benefit.
Yeah.
To push at our edges a little bit.
Absolutely.
But we've been
bad at being bored.
Insanely conditioned to do something.
Right. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. It's really hard to just do nothing, because you're like, wait, does that just really mean sitting and doing nothing? I can't imagine, or I have to be walking, doing something. I think, okay, something that's really helped me is this app called Opal.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Are you on it? Okay.
No, one of my like I have this Dharma group, and one of our fellows put us onto it, and wow.
It helps so much.
Wow.
And
really great.
I literally like I pay for it. I pay
like you do the paid one.
I do the paid one because I was like waiting the 15 seconds and then canceling it.
Wait, so the paid one doesn't let you cheat?
The paid one doesn't let you cheat. So I block it for 6 hours and I can't do anything.
What's your block time?
6 hours.
No, to like when to when?
Oh, it depends. I just like choose it sometimes. I just am like, and I can't. Yeah.
And you can't break it.
And I can't break it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Good for you, because I have it. I don't have the paid, and I have unblocked it.
Uh-huh. I know. I think it was like the best money I've spent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Opal. Let's reach out to them. Get an ad.
I love them. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So people listening, Opal is an app that and I'm sure many like this exist, but it can block apps, it can block certain things, and
Mhm.
there are Melissa has the paid version, which doesn't let you unblock. I
Yeah,
have the unpaid version, which lets you unblock, and there are different like setups of you can make
yeah,
the unblocking harder, easier,
right.
uh, and you can set sort of time blocks. But yeah, that's what we've come to. We've come to needing to lock up our
I need
phone.
it. I know I don't, it's embarrassing, but I do need it because I
It's not
will,
embarrassing.
yeah,
I need to let everyone know the smartest people in the world with the most money is what we're competing against. That
yeah.
that is what that is our competition
Mhm.
in this fight for our concentration and our mindfulness and our heart and our
Yeah.
space and our energy.
Hmm.
Like the brightest people in the world and the most amount of money is what you are fighting.
Yes.
And so if you have to pay the $15 to lock your
Uh-huh.
phone up
Uh-huh.
in order to be present, it's worth it. And it's not anything. It's not embarrassing. It's not this. It's like that's our fight back.
Right.
Um,
I know this is what it's come to. They've drained so much of our energy and attention. Like yeah, I am like, I'm not giving this to you now. Like it is my, yeah.
yeah, attention is the most valuable commodity in the world.
Hmm.
And don't ever get it twisted. It's not money. It's not, it's attention. This is why social media is free because
Yes.
you are the product.
Oh
If it's
God.
free,
It's so
you are the
true.
product.
I know. Yeah, I was talking with my partner and I was like, why did the world get all conservative? I kind of forget. And then he was
When
like,
did it happen? You're
I was
like,
like, like, what was it?
where was
Was it
I?
like World War II? I don't know. And then he was like, well, it's the algorithm. Like it was tech companies realizing um that prioritizing anger and hate because it would get the most clicks and it would get the most attention, and that affects what people pay attention to and affects what people believe. And then now we're in fascism, and it makes me, it's like I loved social media for so long and have met so many like beloved people in my life through it, have made like amazing connections, have got work, and am able to like have this life as a writer in part because of my life on social media. And I also feel like I'm like, I think I have to find another way because this is so evil.
This thing about gathering around our anger and our hate.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's a great book I highly recommend. It's a short read. It can be a little dense. It's called
Hmm.
Rebellion of the Masses. It was
Hmm.
written in the 20s by a Spaniard named Jose Ortega y Gasset.
Hmm.
And he was a prophet of sorts, and he predicts social media. And he says one day something will come. Well, he separates the world into two types of people: masses, or minority, and specialized individual. And minority has nothing to do with race. A
Hmm.
specialized individual is an opera singer. Not everybody can go and hit an aria. That's like
Hmm.
unique. And
Hmm.
then not everyone can do heart surgery. Like there's this uniqueness around you. You did some training,
Yeah.
and then everyone else is the masses.
Yeah.
Uh, and and then he says something will come along one day,
Mm.
a microphone. He literally calls it a microphone that
Mm.
will convince the masses that they are minority, that they are unique,
Whoa.
and that what they say matters. And then these people will start to galvanize other masses around their things that they disagree on. Not the things they agree on, but the
But
things
they
they
disagree
disagree on.
on.
Because it's so much easier to galvanize around disagreement than it is
Hmm.
agreement.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. He wrote that in the 20s?
In the 20s, Jose Ortega y Gasset. Yeah.
Wow.
Outstanding.
That is
Rebellion of the masses.
that's what's happening. It's
It's
so
happened.
wild. It's
And
happened. Yeah.
it's we're past it. It has absolutely happened. And uh, this is why you have and this is something I have never understood, and the Buddhist in me
Hmm.
knows how challenging this is. Like, this is why you have Proud Boys. Like, this is why you have
Yes.
uh, intense, Zionism. This is why you have these
Hmm.
things where people come together to say this isn't fair. We deserve this, because
Right.
peace is not peace is chill. Like, peace
Piece of
is like
kale.
peace is like, yo, I'm in my house and I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good, you know. And we have never been able to galvanize, like, because you can't, if you're peaceful, you can't fight. You don't want to fight. It's weird. It's a weird thing I come up against.
Right.
Um, how to be peace
Oh, totally.
and also fight.
Yeah. And be like, how do I, when does peace start feeling like standing by? And
Correct. Yeah.
like, totally, totally.
Yeah. I like that question. When does peace start feeling like standing by?
Hmm.
Oof. Yeah. We've had not on this show, but I do this like thing on my Substack about liberation, and this incredible French Algerian woman. I had her on because she called me out about not speaking out about Gaza originally.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and my main thing was like, yo, sharing this on stories doesn't do anything. Like, you are
Right.
not,
Right.
and she really challenged me.
Hmm.
She was like, I think all action is action, even the smallest ones
Oof. Yeah.
mean something.
Yeah.
Even the very, very smallest. She said, not everyone gets to write a book, Chris. Not everyone gets to
It's
go
true.
speak over here at this place. Like,
Hmm.
the smallest things matters. And you saying to these people that, like, that's pointless doesn't help.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't have the answer.
I know it's so hard because I've totally felt this too, where I'm like, am I sharing this because I feel like I'm being watched and
Yeah.
it's like it feels like this social obligation. But then it's like, what if it is a social obligation, like to care about a genocide, um, and spread information about it? And then it's like, what if you're talking to just an echo chamber of people who agree with the same thing? Um, but then I've learned so much from things that are shared on social media. At the same time, I've like, yeah, I could just like go back and forth where I'm like, we should all check what we're sharing, and that kind of thing. And I've definitely felt, I feel like everyone with some kind of influence has been like, what is the smartest thing to do? What is the most like positive effect I can have that can like lead to change with just like my social media account?
I do believe it's in smaller communities. If I were to
Yeah.
be prophetic in this moment,
Hmm.
I see I see uh, more political and climate catastrophes. Like, I see darkness,
Hmm.
and then I see a lot of fracturing. And
Hmm.
fracturing to me is not bad. Fracturing is like, we will create smaller communities that will love each other more deeply,
Yeah.
and we will remember that, and we'll become sort of more tribal in that way,
Yeah.
because we live under this myth. There's this great artist, David Wojnarowski, died a long time ago.
Hmm.
Died as a young man of AIDS, and he said, America is constantly trying to sell you the illusion of a one tribe nation,
Yes.
but it's not a one tribe nation. It never
It's
has been.
yeah.
And I think what you're actually seeing with the Proud Boys, with these different fractions, or they're taking advantage of saying, we're not one tribe, you know, we're many little tribes. And so other people are going to start to pick up on this. The joke is like, it's going to be a bunch of little communes everywhere, but also kind of maybe like,
Yeah. That's kind
maybe
of how
we
it used to be.
maybe we just need to learn how to care in that way about each other in our communities.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I think we're not supposed to know this many people.
Oh, interesting.
And I think it affects us in a way we don't understand to have to just have so much access to people's lives. And I think you're so right about like the small, this just like we there's a way for us to just like not necessarily just like, you know, I'm only going to talk to my 5 friends, but you know, get involved in local politics, or like see what's going on in the building you live in. You know, does your the tenants that you live with have a union, that kind of thing. And America's too big. It's too big.
I like this idea. It's kind of fucking with me. Just we're not supposed to know this many people,
Yeah.
and we're definitely not supposed to be watching them
Yeah.
and watching their lives unfold. And
Right.
really, a less is more, which is what I'm trying to do as a writer and as an artist, and in my life, and with
Mhm.
Opal. Like, I've
Yeah.
really, this has been a season, a long-term season of trying to remember that less is more. Like,
Mhm.
you can say less. You know, I'm a student of Thich Nhat Hanh, and if you ever read Thich
Mhm.
Nat's, you know, Thai's
Mhm.
writing, it's like, my God, the dude says the least in the most,
Uh-huh.
like the least
Yeah.
in the most. It hits
Yeah.
every time. Less is more.
Mhm.
and and this might be true of our communities, like deep community, deep friendships
Right.
versus 1,000 people we don't really know.
Right. And don't really know us, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because to have a deep communion with anyone, deep intimacy, and I'm
Mhm.
not talking about like sex, I'm talking about like deep intimacy with a
Mhm.
person, takes time,
Yes.
like investment. And how the fuck
Yeah.
could you do that with the 1,000 people you're following? You couldn't.
You
You
can't.
wouldn't have enough lifetimes.
No, unless you're like a cult leader or something. Yeah. Which I think I watch. I think I watch happen, you know, people are just like a cult leader. um and I agree. I think true intimacy also comes from an eventual moment where you're both really frustrated with each other, and you've done something to hurt someone else, they've done something to hurt you, and I think I only have the emotional bandwidth to do that with the people I already know. You know, and it is really beautiful to meet new people and have connections. I hope I get to do that like for a very long time. um but yeah, it is. I think there's like a um it comes down to this like negotiation or understanding that you aren't, you know, it's like this understanding that you aren't going to read every book there ever is, you're not going to meet every person there ever is, have all these lovers, you know. It's like you get what you get and you have to cherish those things.
Yes, and
Yeah.
like absolute yes, and
Yeah.
the people you do get to love are
Yes.
the whole world.
Yes. I
And the
agree. I
people
agree.
you do get to commune with are the whole world.
Hmm.
Like that's, I mean, that's the Buddhist in me, that the book
Yeah.
you read
Is the
contains the
whole.
whole world.
Yes. I
It's a
love that.
product of the whole world.
Hmm.
Like, we're not here, you know. Namu Amida Butsu is a line I chant every morning, and it says, "My life is the resultant effort of others."
Wow.
You know, Namu Amida Butsu. And so everything we engage with, every food you eat, every walk you step is the resultant effort of others.
Yeah.
And so it's the whole world.
Right. That's beautiful.
Like, you're
I'm gonna
what are,
I'm gonna chant that in the morning too.
Namu Amida Butsu. It's a very good one.
Cool.
It has served me for a long time. Gets me
Yeah.
out of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets me
How
out of
long?
my mind.
Yeah. How long have you been Buddhist for?
I discovered meditation at 21 years old,
Hmm.
and I've been deep in practice. Maybe right then, yeah, but like really
Yeah.
deep in practice for a long time, probably since I was 25. So
Wow.
uh, about 12 years, 13
Wow.
years.
Wow.
Um, but I've been sitting consistently since I was 21. Uh,
Cool.
Yeah, but my practice evolved a few years after that, and it's an up, and I don't think it's anything other than the practice. It's hard. It's really
It's
hard.
hard. Yeah, it's about like just going to do it every day.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like anything, like
Mhm.
writing, like
Like writing.
you just got to sit every day.
Yeah.
Sitting is the ultimate litmus test for
Oh yeah.
showing up,
Yes. Yes.
because it doesn't have a purpose.
No.
Like it's completely anti-purpose, and it's also so purposeful.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
to just sit can
To
give you
just
so much and can give you nothing at all.
and you have to sit with the nothingness. There's this quote that one of my favorite authors, Kelly Link, um,
Cool name.
she writes a lot of fiction that I love, but when she writes, she says that she thinks about this quote by, let me see, can I see it? Who is this writer? Sorry, I don't want to. By Paul Valery, where he says, God made everything out of nothing, but the nothingness shows through. And so when she writes, she wants to write towards that.
God made everything out of nothing. Keep
And
going.
sometimes the nothingness shows through.
God made everything out of nothing, and sometimes the nothingness shows through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right?
That's good. As we start to wrap up, what are you excited about? How can people read the work? Tell us things. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for my short stories to come out this fall. I started writing them in the pandemic, and I was, trapped inside and kind of going back to childhood memories of I was feeling like a kid again, where I was like, I can't do anything. And so I was writing in the same way I was when I was a child, and thinking about, how scary it is being a kid and things that scared me as like a young adult, a young woman. And I've just been working on them for so long, so I'm really excited for people to read them. And it's one of my favorite parts of like releasing something. I'm really bad at like, I don't like have secrets, so I have to like tell people, and it'll feel like a really big weight after it's released.
Cool.
So it comes out in September, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to that.
Do you want people to engage with your socials?
Yes, please do. Just do it.
What's your handle?
My handle is ELLO Melissa, LO Melissa, everywhere. I also have a Substack. I should have you on my Substack. It's called Reading Sucks. And I interview authors about their relationship with reading and challenges they have with it and the joy it brings them and everything that distracted me from reading that month.
That's cool. I'll put this also. I'll do a little cross promotion then, and I'll put this on the Engaged Liberation Substack.
Cool.
We have a
Yeah.
little podcast there, so I'll put this on there.
Great.
Which should be cool. Yeah. What's your Substack? Reading Sucks.
Reading Sucks.
That's funny. It's hella funny.
Yeah.
Just look at Reading Sucks. So cool.
Thank you.
Cool. Subscribed.
Thanks.
I like I love Substack, but I do think it's turning into everything else.
I know. I don't know what's gonna come from it.
This is the trouble with the word algorithm, or it's not a word. It's I mean, yes, it's a word, but it's a thing that's already taken. Like, we're so deep inside of the algorithm that
We are.
it is. I mean, this is like sci-fi shit. Like, the algorithm is the world. It has become itself.
Yeah.
And so when you think you're escaping it, you're just too deep inside the stone. Like, you're already in it.
You're in it.
you're
I know.
sort
It
of performing the things it wants you to perform.
right, with everything.
And
Like,
so if you try to be subversive, the system, or you could interchange, I think, system and algorithm. Like if you try to be subversive to capitalism, you realize that you need capital in order to be the product that is subversive.
mhm.
So you fall right back into
Yeah.
the thing that you tried to leave.
Yep.
Fucked up.
It's so fucked up. I know. And you like you branch out, you try to make like a new medium, Substack, which is like mostly blogging. But then it's like, how do we get people on it? We'll make it more like Twitter, or we'll make it
Yeah.
have video or something. And I don't know. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
And yet here we are.
Here we
Amen.
are. Amen.
Life is good. Any questions for me?
I don't think so. What is your writing practice?
My writing practice is I'm a percolator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't 9 to 5 it. I don't
Yeah.
write every day. But when
Yeah.
I write, when it's time, when the
It's you're
coffee's ready,
you're in it.
I'm like, I can Stephen King it. I can sit for
Oh
8 to
yeah?
12 hours.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. When it's percolating time, I can just sit down
Yeah.
and lose myself.
Hell yeah.
But that's because I don't force it. I really do percolate. I build up the
Mm-hmm.
ideas in the notes app of the phone. I move.
Yeah.
I believe in asking, like any artist, if you want to work on something, put it towards the front of your mind, and I
Mm-hmm.
promise you the world will feed it to you over and over. You'll see it in quotes, you'll see it in people, you'll see it at coffee shops, you'll see it on dates, you'll see it like
Yeah.
endlessly, the thing you're looking for. But at
Yeah.
some point you have to close the valve and start putting the pieces together.
Yes. You're
Mm,
collecting.
yeah, I'm a collector.
Yeah.
And then the
Cool.
real work is putting it, putting the puzzle together.
Right.
I found all the pieces, I got them all out on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to somehow make them look pretty.
Yeah, totally. I love that.
Yeah, that's my process, and so far it's worked.
Yeah.
Can't complain. I am any last words for people?
Thanks for listening to me talk, and this is a really nice conversation. Don't be afraid to be bored. Yeah.
Yeah, boredom is definitely, when you said that, I was like, that's the title of the episode.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing to return to. It's a
Mhm.
wonderful ask
Yeah.
of ourselves and of the world.
We must. It's the God I return to.
Well, boredom gave us maybe every great, beautiful invention we have. Also, everything in our life that we love was once invented.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we have to imagine, where did those inventions come from?
Right.
And I don't think they come from losing our mind by scrolling on a phone all day.
They did not. They did not.
So I'm grateful for you. If you have any questions in the meantime, you have my cell.
I do.
Cool. Shoot me a text.
Cool.
And then this will probably be like 4 weeks or so. There's like a line of
Okay.
things and people.
Right. Cool.
But I'll let you know and I'll get it out.
All right. Thanks so much for having me. This was really nice.
Gracias.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Cuídate. Bye.